maybe? Okay. Never can tell. Okay, clicky buttons. Okay. Okay, let's see. Never know how to open these things, because I gotta click all these buttons right here. Okay. I think we're good. Because it automatically sent to Discord to be stream on setting things. That's good. Okay. I think we're good to go, I think. Alright. Welcome. Alright. How we doing? I think we're good. I'm always just scared because there's always like one thing that's like, whoops, I didn't do that. So, there we go. Welcome. Let's see. So we're back here. But how are you guys doing? I know like last time it was a little awkward. Just because I wanted to get this like really focused. But recognize that was probably not the best. But we'll see how we go here. But let's see. Hey guys. Nice to see you guys here. Yeah. I did change this up a little bit, so it looks a little bit different than what happened on Tuesday. So, just for continuity, I know that people who might be watching this in like a playlist or something, and then they see like, hey, wait a minute, you know, something's a little bit off. So, make sure for those very, astute people that it's slightly different. Okay. In the mood. I'm feeling in the mood. So here we go. I'm ready to go. So yeah, I changed this a little bit. Let me get my reference picture situated. Okay. Alright. How you guys doing before I get too situated, I guess? I'm gonna go to regular GLL, open GL. What is it? Open GL view. Oh yeah, this is Toon Boom. This is Toon Boom Harmony 20. Not sure what would be exactly different from 17 to 20, but clarification for you. There we go. Alright. I think we're good. So I kind of go over what I did in between, actually. So I have to set this up a little bit to be a little bit nicer, I think. Honestly, I'm forgetting exactly what I did, but I think one of the bigger ones was that I changed the line weight, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but now the outlines are a little bit thinner. I think I just put everything into nice peg hierarchies. I don't know how much I have to explain it because it's complicated and it's very esoteric. Just to particularly, the other way knowledge that this will be actually useful for is specifically inside of Toon Boom, and if you're already using it, then this is already pretty a basic enough thing. So I don't know. Anyway, so there's these elements that are the blue ones, and they're just say like what's inside of it is whatever we draw inside. This is camera view and this is drawing view. The element only contains the drawing part of it, and then its peg is the transformation, and like it holds the transformation information of the pivots and translations and stuff. So without it, you'll be moving the actual artwork around, which sounds good, but as soon as you want like 3 keyframes where like it moves from one area to another, it actually will move the previous ones, or like the artwork itself will actually move along with it if you don't have the peg. That's why you need the translation information to do that. So basically I just added a peg onto every one of these. So you can see like I don't have the eyes yet, but the nose should have that. So here's a drawing of the nose and then a transformation one. So I'll be able to click it now. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna have probably make a pony puppet. Yeah, you came to the right place. But this is specifically like a Toon Boom tutorial, so it's gonna be pretty tricky. To exactly explain it. But a puppet, yeah, just basically just says that you have all these different parts. I can select them, not exactly. Let me go up to my hierarchy. So that doesn't really show you in different parts, but it just says like each of these, yeah, that's a visual representation of all the different parts that kind of go into it. And as well as adding special effects like this. This is a Toon Boom style kind of thing. If we use like Flash, then obviously this will be in one graphic. Like all these will be part of one graphic, and then you just add under the sidebar, you add these certain properties on top of it. But with Toon Boom, you have to display them all out, and you have to look at them all. Basically all this says is that the this next shadow, which is this drawing, is going to a color scale now instead. I think I changed this to be different. But this color scale is saying this was 1, so I changed it to be 0. I think that's probably 1 too, but I don't remember that. That's just saying that it's going to change the color, and then we got these weird cutters to be able to be inside of the body. So the body has its own part here, and then make it mask it inside works like that. So you can see like it's backwards now. But without the line art one, it was really weird. Not quite showing it as a dot, but yeah, you get the point that it doesn't quite work. There we go. That it would go over the entire mask of the entire object itself, not respecting the outline that was there. So I had to add an outline node to be able to say on top. There we go. To be able to say like, hey, render it, but also not render the line art on top of itself, but also render itself. So it gets really complicated for that. That's the most complicated thing that we have so far. But yeah, just the mess of just how much stuff there is that got really complicated. Let's see. See ya. That's true. I did have a gaming channel. I did it for around a year. It was really fun where I played with my mom. Yeah, it was really fun to have a little experience with her. Playing different video games. I think if you go on my channel, there might be a link to be able to find it. I'm not sure. But otherwise, the channel was Yoshi Greenwater Plays. 3 words. So, you can look for that. And then you would have found around 20, 30 videos. I don't remember. But we would do one like every week or something, or try to upload it every week, which became our downfall of it, that I was trying to do pony animations as well as, I think it was Fall Life Celestia at the same time, so I was working on 3 pretty big projects every day, and it kind of came to a head where I just wasn't able to really work on it, or work on everything that I wanted at the same level of quality and everything, you know. Definitely the regular schedule was what really really did it for me. Let's see. Should I copy it? Should I clone it? I feel like I should clone it. I'm gonna clone the leg. And then now there's one there. Let's get rid of that. Put that over there. Put it underneath everything else. Add a peg on that. Okay. So now we got 2 legs. That's what I wanted. Just like that. There we go. You know how easy that is. Found it. Here it is. Great. Awesome. Good that still works with that. So that's be a lot of content for you. Everyone else who's interested in it. Because now that we didn't quite get the audience that I was expecting as well. I don't know why it doesn't like that. Maybe because that one's not adjusted yet. Oh, because it has to be P. There we go. Didn't quite reach our kind of... I think we only got like maybe like a handful, like 10 subscribers after like a year working on it. That it was like, it's not quite, you know, what we hoped for. Enough to like say like, yes, let's continue with this as a, you know, as a legitimate thing. It's like, it's not quite, you know, gonna do anything for us. I'm gonna go back, look at my reference closely to see, is there a darkness? No, the legs are exactly the same color, so that's interesting. Makes that easy to make there. Okay. I lost my perfect reference. I don't know, I gotta skim through it real quick. Find that frame that I wanted. Hang on. Okay. Ah, need to pause it. Yeah, so the games, it was really hard to... It was just a long... Because you had to, like, record it as well as, like, play it. So it was hard to... Can't get this right frame. There you go. Ah! No. I'm not going to show it on stream for obvious reasons now. Okay. Ah, no, it plays it. Ah! No. Okay. And then click off, and then I should be good. Okay. Now I need to duplicate this leg. Or clone it with drawings only. Which means that once I... where'd it go? Is that it? That should be the normal one. It should be the clone one. Okay. And then just put it to the bottom. There we go. That's the power of that component there, is I don't have to deal with the layer in order. I don't have to deal with the timeline as much, which is the power of the node view. Okay. Let's see. So now, there we go. And then we add it to the top, and there we go. And move back to position. Cool. Okay. So I basically just cloned the legs, which means that I should be able to make a... If I happen to make a new duplicate picture, that if I mess this in any way, like if I take this out, then the other one, if that's on the same frame, it'll also have that value. So, in case I need to make more drawings, I'll be able to do it that way. But for right now, I can delete it and then go back to saying that's one, and then go back to node view, and then say, yeah, that one, and then go back, please. There you go. Okay, let's mess around. That would do. What I wanted to do today was make the eyes, which are arguably the most complicated part, so it should be fun. Ah, I had it. I had it, but I clicked it. That'll do. Okay. Okay. So the eyes, I have some stuff here, but let's see. Some line art. Sketch, make that a little brighter. So it's actually a pen that I just put the opacity lower. All these other sketches around here. Just so I can actually see which parts I have. Okay. So we'll fix this up. This is the basic sketch, which I think the skull wasn't quite in the right position, or I changed the position somewhat, so that's why it's a little bit off. Okay. Let's see. So again, I got really clutch with you guys. Okay. So let's see. I want to make probably the close eye. We'll figure it out. So let's get, what do we want to do first? Obviously the pupil would be the easiest. That'd be a circle. So let's see. So I want close. These are far. I think I messed up with these. Is that these are far iris. I could just start over. But I think I'll keep them. So it should be far iris. I'm just gonna put them where I think they should be. Is that's close pupil. And then no, it's far pupil. This is close pupil. And this is far outline, and this is close outline. So I need to have the close outline over here. Basically just put the far ones over here, and then close outline, close pupil, far outline, far iris, far pupil. And that'll work. Obviously there's no second iris, so I'll have to add that in as well. So, what should we do first? Yeah, let's do the close pupil. That'll be this. Okay, so the pupil again should be this bit. So, okay. Which I can gonna cut all these eventually onto the under layer thing. So I'll draw on the upper line. and then get a circle. And then change the color. We'll have to change the color to, well, it just needs a fill. So let's get a eye fill. So this will be eye pupil. That should work. 100%. It's kind of bluish. Or something. Get it more saturated, unsaturated there. There we go. Okay. Alright, just get rid of everything. There we go. So I'm going to be referencing my images as much as I can as well. Let's see. This third eye is always popping out of it everywhere. Okay. Probably just like as I go, will probably be easier to just remove it. But now I got the pupil, so now I should be able to move it around. There we go. Okay. So I could probably do far pupil as well, and then do the same thing. I probably just do it same asset, double up would be. Not that'd be quicker, but it definitely will be easier to understand, I think, because then it'll be just be to follow along. You just gotta do the same thing, unless it's a long, tedious thing, and that'll be annoying to watch as well. I never know how to make these entertaining. Okay. I feel like they should be shorter. Especially in relation to the eye, or the nose I'm looking at. I feel like I should do this one, and then bring it up. Because the whole rest of the eye has to fit in there, so... Let's see. We'll probably be playing around as well. There we go. That should get us started. What do we need? We're gonna need the iris and the eye highlights. So let's get those. They're just called highlight, but I want a eye highlight. I know how to spell. And then this will be white. And then why not for now just make an iris, which will be a gradient. So that'll be fun. Iris. Make an OC like that. Be more specific. Basically I'm not using any specific colors for this. And that's what you mean. It's not a particular character. But if I wanted to know the technology of what I'm doing, kind of been going over it. But this is Toon Boom. Let's make a gradient. So Toon Boom is an animation software. It has a free starter, like a trial, but it's not quite beginner friendly, I would say. It's definitely not. I've been working with Toon Boom since like last month, so I'm not exactly the most experienced. I'm experienced with Flash, so I have that knowledge, but then it's trying to translate all those Flash things into Toon Boom. So let's see. And if we can also see like that with a base or make it from zero. It's a good question. Let's see. Because obviously the bases sort of have their own, you know, kind of middle gray area. I'm sure people, you know, that publicly say like, yes, you can use this base or whatever, go ahead and use that. It's always good to like ask if you're going to use a base from someone to make sure that you say like, hello, introduce yourself in some way and say like, hello, I'm trying to make an OC, I'm going to use this base, you know. Let's see, I want a close highlight. Can't see. Highlight. Starting with zero will be easier, at least for me, to be able to say like, yes, you know, I have an out experience that this is my base that I'm making. So I would say like, yeah, that starting from zero is obviously more time consuming because obviously you have to start from scratch, and this has been 3 or 4 hours or something making this. So Wouldn't say, you know, it's easier, but it just means that it's easier to have more control in that way as well. Just control that you can actually say like, yes, I want it to look exactly like this, or then you can say like, yes, I want to make it exactly how I want it. Obviously, when you have a base, it's like, you know, if I had this as a base, and if I want this base to be flying or do a pose, you're kind of limited, unless you actually draw, you know, your character in that pose. In that case, then you have that. Try to reorder this, but it's probably too wompy. There we go. I just want to be able to see where everything is. So I'm going to just play with the node view just for right now so I can get full screen so I can see what I'm doing. So I want the mouth to be on top, and then eye close outline needs to be next. So it'll be there. But yeah, just making sure that you talk to in like DM or like whatever messages that is available. To be able to say like, I like to use it. With not bases, drawing out on your own is simpler because then you don't have to really sort of credit anyone unless you want to credit like the original cartoon maker of whatever series you're making, driving from. Like I know in my credits I always say like, oh well, ponies are from DHX, so I always try to say that. Okay, so I just untwisted the wires and made them a little bit easier for me to understand. I don't think I have everything, but it's definitely a good start now. Okay, so let's make the highlight. I don't think I spelled highlight wrong. Is there 2 G's? I just spelled highlight. Far left one needs to be moved over 1. Let's see. So the mouth, you're right. Thank you. Pop. Okay, cool. Because I'm more concerned about how to spell. Okay. Yeah, the two H's. Okay. Thank you. Okay. H-I-G-H-L-I-G-H-T. Cool. Which means that this one does not take the spelling of the other one. There's no T. There. Yeah. I know in like 3rd or 4th grade there was like a spelling class, or like a spelling bee of some sort. And it was like elimination rounds and stuff, and it was like, oh cool, you know. Like a little like competition, you know, like mock spelling bee thing. And I was like, okay, you know. I don't really know these these words very well, so I was like just trying to hope that maybe they'll choose words that I know. Little I know that the first one that teacher caught on, it was like bicycle. I just remember not knowing how to spell it. I was like, oh no. Because it was like a weird, like, you stand in front of the class and everyone was like in a line behind each other. So I was like, you're like in a spotlight, you know. Everyone's going to be looking at you. Everyone's going to be looking at you. And it was just, yeah, I spelled it wrong. It just felt, you know, it was like, teacher said like, no, and just had to sit back down. So that was like a weird walk of shame. And I was just like, oh, man. So I would say the spelling is not my strong suit at all. Thankfully, you know, most of the time you don't really have to spell when drawing. So, except when it gets more complicated, like all of this, and you have to spell all this right. Then it's like, great. That's when it gets, that's the only place where it's like, it sort of matters, but yeah. Thankfully I'm not a coder, which I think sort of like set me up to like say like I'm not going to be able to do that. At least not effectively. Because remember also in high school, we did have a little game design class, and it was like, hey, you know, we're going to do some coding for scripting for the video game, and it was so rough. I wasn't able to spell or like know syntax at all, or be able to like, 'cause my mind is more literal, so like it's not able to just say like, well, these words really translate to meaning, I guess. So, yeah. Wasn't able to, I want to highlight again. I wasn't able to really do that effectively. So this is I, far, high, light. Get it? High plus light. Okay. Words like together, you know, I have to like make mnemonics. Is the best way I know how to spell. Iris goes underneath highlight. But pupil goes on top of iris? Yes, iris is color. So we'll put this over there, pupil next, and then highlights. So, pupil, iris, okay, cool. That should work. Add a peg. Okay, and then highlights. We'll just do the same thing with circles. Get the right color. So yeah, but the coding, it was just really tough. I wasn't able to really understand it well enough. Be able to do anything effectively. It was, yeah. And then like in college, there was like a more advanced, like learn HTML and CSS, and that was just as tricky. Because it was like, instead of like, oh, well, instead of just coding like if door open, then do this, it was like, well, if you're gonna have an if div, you know, then do something completely weird. And it's like, oh, okay. So I have a hotkey to translate horizontally and vertically. That's that worked. Let's see. None of this is gonna be like pixel perfect or accurate, so I'm not worried about that. But just for right now, I just need to get the assets really just in, and then, you know, fiddle around and go, well, it's not that perfect. Stuff like that. So, okay. I need to put it into the peg. There we go. Let's translate it back. For some reason, when you put the peg in a peg, this peg controls this peg, which for some reason it like really wants to reset the translation. So anyway. Look, he's moving. Oh wow. Good for him or her. I don't know. Who knows? I want to make more. Let's see. Okay, full screen just to get this easier to. Because once they're like really small, it's hard to do anything with them. Let's see. Hey there. Okay, so. Okay. So now we got. Where is it? So this is the separation here. Of this, and then the nose, and then all this can go over there. Okay. It's where to get this nice and pretty, just so like it'll be easier to then understand what you're doing later. Okay, so so I have the shines, which are highlights, and then which I could have called them shines. Yeah, there's no like real. A lot of people like I've seen other people's puppets and they call them like shines, highlights, reflections. Obviously with pupil, it's like pupil. So we'll have to add the iris in, but that's about as far as that goes. Let's see. I don't know. I like salad. I think I've always like, whenever they do like the soup or salad, I always show soup. I was a soup man. I never really liked, you know, really salad growing up. I don't think only until like I've got like a taste more for like lettuce and spinach and other greens. I don't think I really like ranch or ranch really well either. So that kind of turned me off. But as soon as you put bacon in it, it's like, oh, okay. Which kind of defeats the point of a salad, but you know. Iris. I think I already have an iris. Do I? I don't know. Make sure I don't. The iris was with the far people. So yeah, we should have been good. Close. Iris. It just sounds like so robotic when you put these in. It's like, okay. So again, it like always puts it in a weird spot. So that's why it's not fun. Just add the pegs before we get into anything else, and then go. This is what I mean. They need to be full screen is easier. Pop. Did it work? Sure. What's up? Bop, 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 bop. Okay. So now we got the. What did I do? Where'd it go? Iris. I didn't take the peg. There you go. Okay. So now, let's see. What did we miss? Making sure. Okay, so now I need to make another circle. And we're going to call this the iris color. Boop. And then we got bop, bop, bop. Okay. I think, I haven't really tried a gradient yet. So let's see. Edit gradient texture. Does this work like Flash? Yay, okay. Flash has this. So that's happy. I'm happy. Okay. So that does that, and that does scale. Okay. Looks like it changed. Oh, because it's really small. So I'll just have to make this. Make this a little bigger. It should be underneath this one. Why is it not? Oh, because it moved. Of course. I thought I moved it back. Why did I move then? What was the next one? This next one's there, so we just put it there. There we go. So outline, highlight, iris. Here's iris. Just make it big. This is gonna be the biggest part. There we go. Just about like that. That should work. Okay, cool. Oh boy. What happened? What are we doing? Okay. I'm not gonna question that. Let's see. So I can make these darker. See how easy that is to do. Okay. Let's make this more bluey. There you go. Just be able to be visible is important. Okay. So, next one is basically just taking this. I could copy it, and then we put it into the other iris. And paste it. Yay. Okay. That works. I'll take it. Let's see. It needs to be about the same height. So I'll just fiddle with this. Till it looks okay-ish. Nice, big, beautiful eyes. Okay. Nose should be on top, actually. Nose is... this is tricky. Okay, so... nose and mouth, what goes on top? Mouth goes on top of everything, but nose goes next, actually. So, let's just put them over there. And then... I can't really select them when they're small, but I want to move them far away. Wow! And put this slidey over. Okay. So now we can see that the nose, let's get rid of the iron line, don't need this. Or I can just get rid of everything. There we go. Okay. We're good. Get rid of that. There we go. So now that looks cute. So now the nose should be on top of the eye. So that works. And then the mouth should be on top of everything else. There we go. See ya. Alright. So now, what do we got? We gotta do the outline, which, this is where it gets tricky, because I've worked with another puppet that had it more complex. I don't know if I'll be able to explain it, is the problem. So the outline is this bit. Why is it weird? Oh, there we go. So the outline is this bit, which has the this black arch, and then it'll have like a white sclera, and then these eyebrows, and then the underline thing, the weird under cheek thing. So problem is, there's different ways to go about this that now I've learned. I could do it in a way that the Midnight Mirrors puppet is made, or I can do it in a way that Flash, with its limited tool set, could do. I could take advantage of Habit's Toon Boom and then do it the weird way. What would be the weird way? The weird way would be to somehow do some masks, and some render only certain colors, kind of a thing. Might have to look at how the Midnight Mirrors is made and then do it. Because the other option is to do it where... The problem is I want to, when we're going to animate her like blinking. So when she closes her eye, the other objects that we just made had to disappear. So how do we close an eye so then we don't see the inside eye bits, essentially? So I think it might just be easier to do it the not as easy to understand way, but just doing it like in a Toon Boom sort of way, which is the only way that I've only seen like one particular like Toon Boom way, so that's why I only like frame of reference. Let me just scotch this down a little bit. How much room is there? It's pretty good enough room, but let's see. I kind of like go inward. So yeah. So we could probably just draw it and then figure it out as well. Might just do some temp art, or just not do final art, which would be making it perfect of... Yeah, let's just do it. Okay. So what do I got? I got the close outline. Let's start with that. Let's do it. Okay. Because the other way would be to... Yeah. So like when she blinks, her eye would go downward. I don't know what this is. It would go downward. And then you need the eyelid on top. So when you close your eye, don't touch your like your eyeball, but it's like the skin of the eye, which obviously has to hide the eye bits inside. So to do that, you could have a shape, a color that is over on top of everything, or at least on the top of this. If this is on top of the eye, then that makes that easy, which it should be. And then how do you have this sclera be below it? So let's try it out. Coat line, that should be fine, because everything should be black. That, okay. So, line art sketch, make it a little bit lighter, so I can see that I'm working on this bit. Brush, tool properties, 25, not good. I should be using the other one. Needs to be somehow thicker. Let's make that circle. Let's see. That's pretty good. Okay. I can draw the same sort of shape, but maybe make it better. We'll see. Okay, that'll do with that. And then some basic eyelash right there. Okay, and then if I get rid of the line here, this is where I mean, like, it gets so complicated that's like there's no way to exactly explain effectively what I'm doing. Whatever. Okay, so I need to add a... What do I want? How do I want to do this? I could do a stroke, and then do it the same thing here. No, just to make that go pretty good. Let's make it a little bit lower. That's good. And then I want like a second one, like a second line to be able to do the little under cheek thing. Just need to make sure that this is gonna be real tricky. That might be able to do this as well. Oh dear. I know, guys. That's what you wanted to see. Is this is how you make puppets? I could use the same code highlight, which now I know it's not spelled like that. Like that. That's better. So I have code highlight and I have eye highlight. I should probably use the same eye highlight and just say like it's boop. And then I would like a weird cheek thing. Let's call it weird cheek thing. And we'll call it about the same color as this, but then we just make it a little bit less saturated and brighter. So like that. That's what it's gonna look like. Okay, so I need to separate the... Nope. Need to get it and then put it on this white shape, put it on the lower layer. I'm gonna copy and paste it there. So now it's on a different layer, so that should do good. And then this is where it gets fun. Okay, now the fun begins. Okay, so it is right. Let's see. What I want to do is separate. Well, I just want to have a color art isolator. Okay. Hello. Let's see. So the color art is here. Do I want to render the whole thing? I guess. Sure. Because it needs to be on top. It does need to render, but I need to also not separate it. I need to have another one. I need to have just the line art. Like this. So, so actually only the line art should go into it. So if I not do that, but then put this here, like that. Now it only renders the line art. Good. Okay. So this is rendering, it goes to the composite, so it only goes to the line art, which is what we want there. And then we want the separation of the color art, and then put it, I don't know if this works. I want to put the color art underneath the rest of this, all the way down to here. So I click on this pipe to see where it goes, and then put it there. One under. Boop. There we go. So now it should be effectively like that. Okay. It looks good. Thank you. It's a work in progress. So what I want is probably to also mask, but does this mask work? Would that defeat the point, or would that not work? Basically, just the separation is just so the color line of the scalarids underneath. So I can still have the line art be a mask, and then just go to a cutter. I only know like 5 nodes or filters like these, so thankfully these are all easily understood, right? So everything, what needs to get cut is the highlight, pupil, and iris. So if I can take these out and not composite them, but I put them into a cutter, I might click on the buttons, but they don't work. So I put these together. Oh, they need, oh, each of these need a separate one. I see. And then we put the line art there. Or should it be the color art? It should be the color art. Yeah, okay. So, so the color art goes into the cutter of this part, and then the iris goes there. Does that work? No, because the, let's see. Yeah, I need to reverse it. Hey, there we go. Okay. I don't know how to explain it, so I'll probably not be able to. But now, we add the cutter, so that works. Yay. Okay, so that means I just need to add 2 more cutters. Cutter 2 and cutter 3. So, put these up like that. Up like that. Ah. It's not like you just had to move these around. And cutter 3. Okay, so these go into the color art. So bop, 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 bop. And each of these go into there in order. Watch the parts. There we go. That looks good. Nice and separate. The color art goes underneath everything. And if I select the 3 of these, I should be able to do this. Yay! Alright. All that for a cutter. Okay. Okay. It is like coding. It's kind of like that, those beginner, like kind of like leapfrog coding. I don't know what they are, but like they're like websites where, you know, they have like the building blocks. It's like, ooh, it's an if then and then do the thing. So it's sort of like that, but it's obviously it looks more complicated. But yeah. Let's see. What do you think I'm gonna finish it? I feel like honestly the Bates puppet, if I finish the other outline thing, then I feel like that should be basically the bulk of it will be done, and then the rest of it would just be how many more other parts I want to add onto it. Like if I want to add more ear flips or more mouths, or obviously make more the eye have little spotted bits on it. But yeah. Yeah. Obviously it'll also depend as well to figure out like what exactly I'm gonna need for, so I can do the exact same thing again. Which means I have to do everything here again. But now I figured it out, so it should be quicker. But basically, yeah, doing the once I figured out what I want to do for the cartoon itself, that'll narrow it down a little bit, or increase the workload of what I need to do, you know. Like if some reason one of them needs to be yelling or something, and it's like, whoops, I don't have a yelling mouth, or expression, or cheek, or eyebrow, then we'll have to add that in, and draw that in. Probably not into the original base here, but we'll never know. You know. Okay. Let's add the It's like Bob Ross. Gotta make sound effects. Anyway, so that should do for now. Okay, and then do the stroke thing with that. And then we'll just do this. Let's see, I could probably put this a little lower. Okay, and then add another stroke. Let's see. Yeah. So is that, and that is it, that making this puppet will make future animations a whole lot easier. Exactly. Yeah. Because once I obviously make one drawing, it becomes way easier to then reuse that drawing over and over. It's like if you want to make like a drawing of a forest, and it's like, well, you could, you know, draw, you know, every single individual trees, or like Bob Ross even just has like his brush natively somehow, or whatever technique he's doing, he's able to just go boof, and then you're able to make like 50 trees in one boof. So he's not making, you know, individual trees every time, so it becomes more effectiveness of time management, I suppose, to be able to look at it and go, okay, what would be the easiest or simplest or fastest way to do this? Let's see here. I would like weird cheek thing. There we go. And then what did I do for the other one? That was eye highlights. So we'll pop that in. Okay. Okay. So same thing again. Probably should first also actually put it onto the color line here. The other way would be doing this instead of doing the color line. I found out that another option would be to have it be separated by the actual color. So it would actually be the specific color override. How to use British spelling. Color override. So with this, the other option is to do, hey, I would like this particular palette color and this particular, color, and then say like, I don't know what's showing up here, but you'll be able to say like, if red here, please convert to blue. So, or if it has multiple colors, like this would have 3 colors, but if it would have like 2 colors of just the black and white, you'd be able to say like, hey, please only render out black, and then the white won't appear. But the way that I separated out with line art and color art are in different layers, so that made that easy. As well as you can add like multiple colors into the color editor. It's not just has to be one color. So anyway, let's do it to the other one. So we have this, we have this, we have this, and we have this. So what do I want? I want the highlight. I would like the line art and color line art to separate those out. So line art is weirdly connected there. Why? What's going on? It got connected on there. Okay, good. Just want a separate one. Could do this all in the node view right now, so I can see everything as well. So the highlight has separating into, take this out, put it into line art, put it at the same place. It's not a line art, which should be just be the black part should be rendered. Oh, that's weird. It's showing the other part. Oh, I put it in the highlight. Whoops. Okay, that's why. That's why named things really good, kids. Okay, highlight goes back here, I think, and then we put it into here. So that'll save us some steps if I looked at it good. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Okay, so line art, and then we need color art here, and then this one goes underneath everything else. So this one goes there-ish. So, okay, and then we put the masks. Well, actually, just look at the other one. So the mask, line art go there. Color art is connected there, and then the 3 of those are connected there. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I've done a Bob Ross even like, I don't know how many times it's here. What do I want? I want the cutter. Keep doing like weird challenges with them too. Like it's not just, oh, I'm gonna follow along and do one, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna do one upside down or do it backwards with the backwards video. That was insane. So I need, there's a way to like lock them. That'd be nice. So I don't like accidentally click them or like activate them, I guess. Cup. Put that in, take that out. Okay, so I just need room, please. Okay. So that goes into there, and then it goes into there, and then it goes into there. Do these visually show up? Yes, they do. So, I have to move the other one. So the color art goes on the bottom. So it's gonna go there. And then the render, actually all these go into one bit. Oh yeah, because I need to add these bits into here, here, and here. And if we do it right, dang, what do we do? Oh, we need to reverse it? Or do we need to reverse the other mask? What was it over here? Oh yeah, these are white. So these are me all reversed. I think there's a way to... There you go. There you go. Yay! Okay, I did it. I just did the mask backwards. Okay. There we go. Okay, and the fun part is now that we can use use the select to multiple, go through multiple layers like that, and then kind of shape it a little bit better like that. There you go. Okay. I think that's looking cute, so that's a good sign. It's not a scary abomination. Okay. That's be it. Like a little toy, which it is. Cool. Okay. Okay. That's about it, really, and we're about out of time, so I could probably just quickly just go through each of these and then remove the, underline layer thing like this. Just remove it. Remove it. So I'm gonna have to check through all these just to make sure that we're good. But yeah, I think we're good. Alright. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. Bop, bop, bop. No, there. Bop. Good. Good. I think I made sure all these look good. Okay. And again, like, this isn't the final version of it. I'm just making sure that the, all the things here like this, I don't have the underline, whatever this is. My original sketches, I need to remove those. So obviously there's weird body multiples there. So I'm just making sure. And as I go, might as well just do this. Okay, so leg obviously has this. So let's move that. And then that. And then where to go? And that's all separated good because we played around with that really well. I think that's good. Okay. So obviously we still need a lot more tweakings. I'm sure like the actual drawings around here. But yeah, I think that's good. I can show you maybe just quickly how a blink could work. Drawing substitutions, copy it, and then to make it blink, we can just remove this, which already shows you that it's already weird, and then we just move these down, and then maybe just flip them, so these can go like that, make them flat, and then add a black line that goes, whoa, like that. And then we put it on the wrong layer, which means we should put it on the line art, which is now going to be harder because I did that real nice. Now I'll never be able to do that line again. Okay. So now we got a blink. Yay. Okay. And you can imagine what the other one looks like. So now it's a wink. Yay. Okay. So I can just, you know, just keep moving all these around. What I would like to do is probably to put a peg, which means I have to do another play with that. I would like the highlight. I would like to add a new peg, which means that the highlight, pupil, and iris now, and that's gonna be weird until they go into here. Boop, there we go. So now I should be able to just click this, and now they're all in one sort of unit. Like that. There we go. Okay. And that's looking happy. Okay. So now, I should be able to... I know a lot of this is like puppet building rather than drawing. But that's kind of how this kind of goes. It kind of goes back and forth of eye, close, master, peg. There we go. And then we got another peg. I mean, it's sort of like how Flash, you know, you still sort of do a bunch of these weird things, but it's all inside of the timeline usually. Obviously, a lot of these hierarchy stuff of like, ooh, let me, you know, figure this out or add a filter on top of it. It's still like the same principles of what you're doing, but now it's like, now I get a visual demonstration of it. Which looks like a mess, but it's like, it kind of works. So, anyway, I think it's about time for what we got. Yeah. Okay. But now it's just easier to go boop, 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 and then I can move these a little bit easier. Like that. A little better. Make this a little wider, I think. There you go. Okay. And everything goes into one peg, so I should be able to just move everything at once. Yay! Okay. Squanch. There we go. horse. Yay. I got the neck thing too, so which could be lowered down a little bit, I think. I've seen that it goes a little bit there. Okay. So now that this line work, especially what we did today, could be the final artwork, but it definitely gets to a point where we can definitely start getting a little bit more tricky with it. Not that this wasn't tricky, but now it's like, now we can move ahead with it, I suppose. Then now we got enough of a base to then get more stuff out of it, I guess. You know, so obviously this isn't quite anywhere near final of what I want to call final, but yeah. How we doing? End it. Okay, let's go to its time. Okay. Welcome back. And that was just like a small review, but now we got toasters. Isn't that fun? Anything else I want to say? Let's see. Thanks for chat being a little bit more quiet. I know that sounds weird, but it's like it's actually easier to understand you guys. Reading my email right now. Okay. How we doing? Did I do 162 streams? Wow. Oh, I just put them in a playlist, but yeah. I think a couple of them, I'm not sure. I think I don't know why I thought it was like, oh, it has to be 164. That's really weird. Yeah. I mean, I do them twice a week, which means that I was, you know, that'd be over 100 in a year. So if I do it for like 2.5 years, then yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I was doing them earlier before. Like I said, like I was doing like a handful on Picardo and Twitch, so they weren't on YouTube particularly. So that's why. I think even like after that, yeah. But I know what you mean, like of the YouTube era stuff. Let's see. Oh, you got a question. How do you isolate a frame in Toon? That's a interesting question that I'm going to need a little more context, actually. So what kind of frame? Obviously, these are like frames in here. Let's see. That's good, thank you. Like when I extend the exposure, I want to change one of these frames, but when I change one, the others change as well. Okay. Let me see if I can quickly demo that or something. We just add some exposure to everything's here. That's a quick way to get exposure on that. It could be, I mean, because this is, you know, I mean, look at this of just like, this is a simple rig, and it's like, I don't know what's going on here. You know, it's like, it's already super complicated, so be able to just, explain one thing at a time is like, there's so many, like, variables, I would say, but if I could try to figure out, like, what you mean. So obviously just a one fit, there's no, like, one fit glove, I would say, to all this. Let's see. Like when I extend the exposure, I want to change what is changed. When I change the others, change as well. And I read like I'd read it twice, and I'm still having trouble. I made some short animations, and I made that Jackrabbit one that you guys saw. So there's definitely some. I have that experience, but I'm just trying to figure that out. So I could probably like remove some of these frames like that, and then I can figure it out. Oh yeah. Extend the exposure. So when you expand the exposure, like with F5, is what I have in key map to. So that happens. I just never came across this problem, so it's hard to diagnose it exactly. So when you change one of these frames, I mean, I don't have enough frames to really change. I'll just play with this one. So when I change the frame, it changes the other ones. Let's see. I just wondering if there's more examples or anything else you want to make sure about it. So when you expand it, I know that if if these are like the same somehow, like if you extend the exposure somehow and then later on change it, that it might change? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, they're saved into a playlist. Yeah. I unlisted them. Okay, thank you for understanding that. Let me get rid of these. Okay, so I extended the figure standing for 12 frames. Okay. I'm trying to make it blink in the middle, but when I change the eyes, the whole figure's to a close eye. Interesting. Yeah, starts right. Extended. Okay. Doing this through text is still really tricky. Let's see. Okay, that's a little better illustration. Extended the figure standing still for 12 frames. I'm trying to make it blink in the middle, but when I change the eyes, the whole figure's close changes to a close eye. Huh. I noticed some weird, like, this drawing substitution is a little bit not quite as much as I'm used to, because you could, like, add another keyframe, I think, and it'll, yeah. It's a little hard to see, whoop, like this bigger, but there's, like, this one solid, like, vertical line here that then indicates a keyframe, but what I've done here is that it goes from 1 to 2, visually you can see up here, and then I added a keyframe, but it goes to 2. So obviously that doesn't really make sense because it's like keyframe the same picture. So unless it's somehow with the pegs as well, maybe. Yeah, obviously, again, it's like really, it's trying to do like rocket science, but you can't really see the rocket. It's like, okay. Let me just try to figure it out. It's obviously, yeah, there's always like going to be a weird, if you narrate it down and you're like 100% sure like this is the only thing that's weird, looks like I just got weird eye thing, then obviously just like keep looking at it, make sure that everything else is good. I mean, that's how I diagnose problems, is that if there's not like something weird like in here somewhere, or making sure that everything is correct here, then in the node view, if you have that, obviously if you have a premium, then it's way easier to figure it out. Oh, if it's just easier like that, okay. Want to say blink, this is my blink, and then I want it open again. So I change my drawing back to open, and then I can, that's why I'm not having that kind of problem, because it's like, it's really simple, I guess, to like understand that it's like, is that a problem? I don't know. So I can also move this slower. Boop. If you just want that, if you have the drawing substitutions, then you could just go to a keyframe and then change it to be whatever you want, and then later on change it again. So boop, boop, if that's what you're meaning. I just didn't think that would be tricky, so I'm trying to figure like, is there something deeper to that, you know? I was like, am I missing something else to it? Because it's like, oh, well, the only thing that you want would be to do that, then let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to make it blink in the middle, but when I change that, the whole figure changed to close eye. Well, then I would say to just, you know, if you want it open, then select it to be open again. I have a problem in another project where I wanted it, yeah, I wanted to like extend it to be like more than, you know, 70 frames. And when I opened it and extended it, then it would, if for some reason I wanted it to be no exposure, which didn't seem to be what you were talking about, where eyes wouldn't always, you know, stay the same. If I wanted everything to go to 70, but I wanted to have this thing only extend for up to whatever, 45. If I wanted to do this animation and then I wanted to disappear, which I would want it to be not exposure, but if I go to everything and then select everything, press F5, then it extends, but now the thing that I wanted to disappear is now here. That's the only other thing that I was having a problem with, was that it was trying to extend everything, which makes sense, but I set it to be not exposure here. So I had to go back and manually figure it out, you know. It's had like 4 or 5 layers. I was like, oh, I wanted it to only appear for like, I wanted a smear kind of a frame where I had this like arm smearing across here, but I only wanted to expose it for like 1 frame. And it was like, wait a minute, but I extended everything else to be longer because the animation took longer than I thought, than I timed it to. the smear, once they like extended everything out in that particular way to make it easy, because obviously you don't want to go to each one of these and then extend further and then extend. It's like, oh, I just want to do the everything. So I just collapsed everything and then added it in. And it was like, whoop, the eye's back. You know, that was gone earlier, but now here. Now we here, and then it blinks. So, let's see. Let's see. Let me go back here and delete this. You're new. Okay, that explains. I want to know what your like experience level is too. That makes it a little simpler. So now I can explain it in an easier way. New, but trying to change one single frame inside of the exposure. Let's see. Trying to change one single frame. Okay, inside of the exposures without changing the rest. Okay, trying to. I have to reread it just because it's like every time I read it, it's like get something new out of it. Okay, so trying to change one single frame, like the eye. You want to change it inside of the exposure. So the exposure would be the timeline here. So across the exposure of the timeline, we want to change it. But we're trying not to change the rest of them. Oh! What if you had the problem of, what was it? If you collapsed everything and you were somehow looking at everything, and then you wanted to add a keyframe. And you were like, well, I just want to add a keyframe onto this layer, which happens to be everything. And then add a keyframe, which adds keyframes here. Which means that everything else also gets it. That's the only thing I can think of. That'd be like, it is weird. I don't quite expect it, but it's like, it makes sense. The problem is that everything that's weird, like if you give it a day and like rest on it, it's like, oh, well, actually that makes sense of why it does that. So, yeah. Actually worked on it a little bit today with the movie. Started to work on the first shot with the first 3D shot, so got a pretty good layout on it, but it's coming along. Let's see. I'm trying to help, but I'm just trying to understand it first is the problem. It's obviously like I'm still learning it too, so anything that I might say could also be incorrect as well. So I'm sorry, yeah. If I didn't quite help it with that problem. But yeah, if you're new to it and if you're using a trial, which I'm gonna expect, keep working on it. I mean, this is not. I mean, this whole software is not meant to be understood, you know, immediately. Even just doing frame by frame stuff is like that. I tried to do that, and it was like it took me like 2 weeks to do like a 5-second or like a 5-frame animation, just because it was so complicated. That was without the node view. Yeah, I was just doing with this, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's not a program to understand like within like a couple days. I've been working with this for like only like since April. It's about almost 2 months, and I'm still every day learning something. So if you say that you're new to it, it's gonna be rough at least the first couple weeks. I would suggest to make if you're doing like small projects, then that's easier. I kind of went into deep end of like using because I had the privilege of using the Midnight Mares assets in those Toon Boom puppets, so I was able to look through those assets and go, oh look, that's how they do the eyes, which is the way that I figured this out with the no view to make it look like this. So I don't think I can send those without a CND or NDA. So I probably won't be able to send those files to you, but hopefully just watching my Toon Boom videos here with my previous ones, that should be pretty. I mean, that's just making the puppet, and eventually we'll get into animation of itself. So if you stick around, haha, then maybe we'll pick up some more things. But for right now, yeah, it's a little tricky to understand the very nature of what you're saying. But I'm trying to get it, but I think, yeah, it's either so obvious that I'm not able to think about it, or it's so way more complicated that I can't even comprehend it, is the problem. So thank you for the question, though. You're back. Okay. Thanks. Okay, by the way, how do you save a drawing and reuse it again? Like save a drawing overhead. And drag it to use it again so I don't have to keep drawing it. Okay. That's actually relatively simple. Let's see. It's got to be in the library. So I have a library tab. If you want to save this particular puppet, like the entire box of everything, and then put it into a new file, like if you want like 3 characters that are in 3 separate files, then you can put them into library. I probably won't do it just because I don't know what's in here. Look at that. Got some characters. So that'd be a way to just like copy all these, copy all the frames, and put them into this library. Make sure it's set to right to modify, and then you just drag the whole thing into here, and then let go, and it should be a template. And then with that template, then you can do that. But that's not exactly what you're talking about. But if you just want to reuse a certain drawing, then I would say the easiest way to actually would be to select it and then Control or Command C, and then let's say you put it on the underline, and then Command or Control V. V is in Victor, and then it appears again. So that's how you can not have to redraw a drawing, is that now it's in 2 places at once. But that'd be the simplest way to do that, and it still should exist. Unless you want to cut it, which would be Control or Command X. So yeah, copy paste is the easiest to do that. If you have like 100 frames in here, like a mouth or whatever, and you need to have 101 or whatever, but it has to be similar to frame 20, then you can go to frame 20 and then copy paste it, and then there's a button for this one. I don't know what toolbar this is. I think it's the standard one. But this is my really good friend is duplicate drawing. Let's see. Yep. Command and Control paste are the handy thing. Also, duplicate drawing. So depending on what drawing you're on, it'll make a new drawing. So now you have 2 of them. So this is actually half clone, where it exists as a new one, but it's actually a separate element. Like it has a different ID. It's like Skull 2 instead of 1. But now if I like recolor 2 into completely different, it changes on the timeline because I'm actively using frame 2 on the timeline. But if I want to bring it back, then I can just select 1 again, and then we're good. But now I have 2 whenever I want to, and that'll act like a blink as well, where I can just click it and then go 2 frames and then change it again, and it should boop do that. So there's a better timeline. So I was able to do that, but I'm able to copy paste it to be similar, but now it's just like a little bit different for whatever you want, and then it changes back. So hopefully that's a better explanation for that. And this is recorded. It'll be on my channel, so that should be easier to review for you. Let's see. Did that help? I don't know how to explain it better, obviously, because I don't think I'd understand it better. But yeah, I've used this particular button, duplicate drawing, which happens to be Alt-Shift-D, which it's just right here, so it's just easier to click it. But yeah, if you're learning, I would just to say try to take like each button at a time and like actually figure out like which each of these does. Obviously, because there's a million buttons on screen right now. I mean, there's a million. But really just need like a certain amount eventually, but just like to go through each of these. Like each day, I've like with my Midnight Marriage project, I was like, man, wouldn't it be easier if like there was some way to add like bones that were like connected to each other and wouldn't like follow each other, but like it would like also be like pinned to like at the shoulder. It was like an arm animation. And it's like, wouldn't it be better if I didn't have to like click on one part and then like kind of rotate it and then move the second part and then rotate it for every frame? And then I thought like, wait a minute, there's like IK bones, which was just like reviewing like an entire like also the handbook. What is it? It's not strategy guide. User manual. Just actually just going through and like reading the user manual is like actually like really helpful, because that like introduces you to like other concepts that you like never heard of, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. So, might not use it, but then when it comes to like a thing where it's like, huh, what I'm doing right now is really hard the way that I know, and then you like go back to the user manual, or like I like remembered, and they're like, oh yeah, IKs are a thing. And so I went back to the animation that I was doing, and then added IKs, which is this weird kite button, which doesn't make any sense right now, just because there's too many things, but it's able to like render and like do this fun thing. Woo! So in case you need to do an animation like this, you can keyframe it like that. So obviously that was horrifying, but using a good way, you're able to do exactly what I wanted, of adding a bone arm structure, where I was able to just keyframe like one bone of that and then move the arm around, and it would follow along the chain because I set that up that way to be able to do that way. So take things one at a time. Reading the user manual is actually really good. That's the way I learned. The way that I learned personally was reading the user manual, and then like the online one, and then just going through each tab and just kind of reading through it. And then they write it in a fun way, and there's a lot of pictures, so it's not too bad. But that definitely like introduces you to different concepts. If you need more, then obviously you can type in Toon Boom IK rig into YouTube, and then you'll be able to find helpful people like Onion Skin and Stylist Rumble and people like that, Frank Summers. Shouting those out because they've helped me a lot to understand all these weird Toon Boom bits. And I'm trying to learn. I think I've gone from like novice to like semi-novice, so I'm feeling good. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, don't try to do it all at once, but like try to learn like one piece at a time is really important. Because obviously like I've added all these weird buttons that I don't really use every button at the same time, but it's able to have them at a disposal to go. I'm not really doing master controllers at the top here right now, but it's just like it kind of fills up the screen. It's basically what it's there for. But yeah, I've had a lot of trouble with trying to figure out like what tabs I really need. Because obviously like with more nodes, nodes has to be a popular one that I usually use. But then just trying to put all these other bits in other places, and it's like, it's really hard to know where to put them. Trying to figure out a good workspace is also really important, because then you're able to act more efficiently than trying to like look and find things. Or like, there's so many other like, this is master one or the premium version, so I got a lot more. But then advanced or not advanced. What is it? Essentials. But basically just trying to figure out like, just look through here and go, oh look, what's a message log? Let's find out what that is. Oh cool. it figures out everything here. Yeah. Great. Alright. So now we know what that does. You know, it's like we slowly learn by doing all this stuff. This is by perspective mode. Let's see if I can do rotate view. Whoop. This actual puppet is in 3D space now, apparently. So if in case I wanted to do like 3D stuff, it's like great. Now I can have like backgrounds and stuff. You can see like how thin they are. Weird they look in perspective. But yeah, ooh background, ooh back view. But yeah, just like playing around, it's like it takes months to be able to figure out any of this. Okay. I think that's about it that we could probably talk about before my throat goes out more. Let me drink some water. I'll read your stuff. We'll see. Yeah, I've been uploading in 2 years. Yeah. Let's see. I'll discover. You only discovered my second channel a couple years. A couple days ago. Yeah. I know. I have like 3 channels. I think the second one that I made was the Yoshi Greenwater tutorials, and that got only got a couple views or videos, with only a couple views anyway. But I started to like put some stream VODs on there before I realized like, oh, I could just unlist them on my main channel and then just put them in a playlist. So that was easier than trying to re-upload hour-long videos onto a second channel. It was like, because then I had to like re-render it and like wait for a half hour for it to upload, and it was just like every week. It was like, yeah. It was just easier to put it on the main channel anyway. So I don't think any of the older ones are deleted, but they're just on a different, they're unlisted in a playlist. So yeah, let's see. Then the gaming channel. Yeah, the gaming channel came out, I guess, 3 years ago. That was fun. But again, yeah, my scheduling wasn't able to handle it. Because with my mom, I wasn't able to. My mom was only able to like act. She wasn't able to really participate in like the editing or any kind of camera work, any of the technical stuff. So, which is most of it, of the workload. So I had to like set up the camera, set up the game box, set up the game, set up the lights, set up the green screen, record it, and then have like half-hour fun, and then transfer all the files. And it just became like this huge thing of like, well, now I gotta render it and edit it, and then, you know, spend like 2 or 3 hours like editing it and trying to make it, you know, not too bare bones of an edit, but try to make it interesting. So I added like little pops and stuff, and then render that out as a video, and then try to do that every week. And it was just like, while I'm trying to do my regular stuff, which I'm glad I was able to do that, because that was really fun. But now it's like I'm just trying to focus on the movie, which makes it easier, because then it's like the only thing I have to worry about. But then it's the only thing I have to work about. So, oh, thanks for the link. Is that the gaming channel? Or is that the tutorial? Let's see. Yeah, Greenwater plays. Yeah. We actually have like 3 other videos that we didn't upload, but it was just like after we decided, we recorded a bunch like at the end, and then we decided like, yeah, maybe we should stop. So we have like 3 episodes that we never uploaded. But that should be enough content for quite a while. We tried to get through Mario Galaxy, was like our main video. Our main game was Mario Galaxy, but we never finished that. I only wanted to play it on stream, so I haven't finished Mario Galaxy. Well, Odyssey. Did I ever say Odyssey? I don't know. Mario Odyssey. Which I was trying to play. So I haven't really played Odyssey since those 2 years. I never finished it. But I tried to like get it pretty close to, I don't know, like a good 80% more than, you know, more than 80%, I guess, but not trying to go for 100%. That is it? Okay, yeah. I don't know. I saw the picture of like Mario, and it's like, oh, that kind of looks like his Galaxy flying pose, and it's like, oh, nope, it's not. But yeah, they try to play other games, but mostly just, obviously just Nintendo games, because that was fun. And really just short party games, because my mom likes, it's easier for mom to play party games than trying to watch and sit through me playing Odyssey. Let's see. Can't get any notification because it says you can't get any notification done show made for kids. Yeah, I said it's made for kids for the fun of it. Because now we didn't do anything risque or whatever. We kept it very clean. I even edited out when mom got angry. But it never really got that bad. That was just like, it'd be better. So that was around the time when Kappa was rolling his head. It was like months after we finished, but it was like, hey, I thought to myself, like, wouldn't it be just fun to like put it to kids to see what it does? And it's just like, it doesn't really do anything. Obviously, because we're not really uploading anything new onto it anyway, so it's really no skin off my back. It's just like, it's all right. It could happen to do this channel exactly. Obviously, because now tangentially, Hasbro knows about this channel, so I think they probably know about it. Not personally, but just like know about my weird copyrights. About how that happens. Exactly. Yeah, if I said it to kids, then there'd be no chat, or comments, or even be able notified of it. So, or just like regular videos, you won't be able to get comments and oh no, the multiplayer won't be able to be used either. You can't have a video in a small video anymore if you're a kid, because that's important. I don't know. It was really weird. Yeah, it was scary because like it actually was somewhat of a threat that it's like, wait a minute, by these 4 words of like, well, does your video contain toys or cartoons or animations? And it's just like bright colors, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's what I am. And then like eventually like around, was it this year or last year, beginning of some year, the copper bot scanned through all my videos and found like a handful, more than a handful, like 10 or 20 were the bot designed designated as to be made for kids. So that got a big scare. But I don't think too many of my recent videos at the time were flagged, so it was just like my really old ones, so that was interesting. Like my 2013 and 14 ones were really hit. But like my 17 and 18s weren't as much. Like one of them, like I think some of the Halloween ones for whatever reason were made for kids. I know like one of the Halloween ones I have like shadows of like things that look scary, but then it's like, oh no, they're really cute, you know? It's like, oh no, there's a bunch of like brains flying around, but it's like, oh no, it's spaghetti, haha. So it's like, oh, that one's made for kids. It's like, like they don't look at the content. Let's see. Can't even save a video to a playlist. That's horrible. Ugh. Let's see. Watch me see video. Let's see this. Did it work? Oh, there it is. Oh, the guy who puts the brick in the laundry machine? Yeah. I got 3 million views. Wow. Oh yeah, let him go. I'm watching the video. That's amazing. Yeah, I've seen this one. Oh boy. Okay. Thanks, Star. Well, on that note, I think we're good. All right. So I'll keep working on the movie as well as Minimers, which obviously you don't really see that much. But yeah, I'll keep working on the movie and then see where we go. I mean, I like to get it done this month. Would be where my timeline would be, so it's gonna be a little tricky to do that, but I'll do my best. So, but otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. So, so next time for this particular stream, yeah, we'll on next Tuesday. Look at that, it's in the bottom. You'll be able to watch more of this. I don't know. Yeah, well, I mean, there's still enough to work on this. Like, this isn't this particular pony puppet is not done. I'll have to redraw a bunch of things, like especially the eyelashes and a lot of different things that end in that don't have a closed shape. I'll like to redraw them to have like the caps of the ends of the lines look nicer. So I'll probably have to trace over that. So yeah, there's still a lot more to do, as well as probably just freaking out more people with this crazy. I mean, this looks actually organized to me. It's like, oh, this actually looks nice. It is. I mean, if you look at it, it's like this. It's like, it makes sense, you know. So it could be worse. I could put these into groups, but then I don't know. Just like going big and out, in and out of like groups. It's like, well, it feels like I'm in Flash again. Where I have to like go in and out of symbols. So let's see. But yeah, I think that's about it. Let's see. Yeah, I have 3 monitors actually. Let's see. Yeah, so I have a tablet and then 2 extra monitors. That's how I was watching the video. Things about it though. Let's see. That's good. Okay. Go wrap it up. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and then on Tuesday we'll figure out more of this. Oh yeah, the eyes have to also have the little sprinkles on them. The irises have to have a bunch of small dots on them. If you're looking at Pony Life pictures, it's like they go all out with the eyes. So we'll have to make that look more accurate, I guess. So yeah, there's obviously way more to do. But yeah, this should be the general of like everything should be here, but then we'll have to just add more on top of things, like more frames and stuff. So, and then we could play even more like IK rigs or curves and bones and envelope deformers. So who knows what we'll do. Again, it'll just be it'd be good to like add all these weird things like the envelope deformers, but then if we don't actually use it, it's like it's still an option for later. But yeah. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Okay. See you. Okay. Bye bye.